How we face other people determines in large part how we are able to face Yahweh our Elohim. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, final day, day 5, a Torah portion to Ramah. So we've talked about various elements of the Mishkan. Let's conclude today at the end of chapter 25, talking about what's called the table of showbread and the menorah. The table of showbread is actually in Hebrew the Shulchan Lechem HaPanim. Now, what in the world is that? Shulchan, the table, lechem is bread, hapanim. Here's the interesting word. Panah is the root word and references face or faces. Panim being a plural word. So it is the bread of faces. Another way to translate that is bread of surfaces. When you are falling in love and spending time with someone, maybe over mealtime or just spending time courting, you spend time looking into their face, staring into their eyes. You notice little things about their face, the surface of their face. And these little things begin to help you to identify them and recognize more than just the overall image of the person. But now you're looking deeply into a part of themselves that reveal maybe more than their words or their actions. You're looking into their eyes and you're beginning to sense things about them. So the bread that was baked was not just a loaf bread. It wasn't challah bread. This isn't a round, flat bread. This is a bread that is created so that it has lumps, bumps, surfaces, things that are unique about it. And it has been widely debated as to exactly the shape and dimensions of this bread. But know that as it was stacked up in 2 stacks, that this bread, it existed without deterioration. For a week, this bread sat in the very presence of the Most High, and there was no mold, no deterioration. In fact, it is debated and stated among some commentators that it remained hot and fresh for the entire week, and then at the end of the week, it was taken out and replaced by a fresh batch of bread. And then the priest ate the previous bread that was on the table in the presence of the Most High. This is a covenant action. Eating bread before Elohim, it is covenant and entering into agreement with Him. Now, as we consider the bread of surfaces, let's also understand that it gives an idea of how we look at one's face. And the way that I am willing to perceive you colors or determines how I'm willing to see my Creator. Yeshua said it this way: how can you say that you love your Elohim whom you've not seen, and yet you hate your brother whom you have seen? If I am willing to show mercy and loving kindness and compassion, to extend to you forgiveness, not overlooking transgressions and trespasses, but acknowledging them and forgiving them, releasing you, then I will find these same things in the face of my Creator. If I am stingy, if I am obstinate, if I have an angry disposition towards you, if I hold things at aught against you, Then when I go before the face of my Creator, I'm going to find these things going on likewise. So the bread represents the truth of the Word. And as we ingest it, it is the idea that the Word is multifaceted. I see things that you wouldn't see, and the reverse is also true. All of us need to have an opportunity to share our perspective, our insight, the surface that we found. And in the sharing of our surfaces, the whole loaf has been reconstructed. There are 12 loaves representing the 12 tribes. So there is a sense then that we are built one upon the others. 2 stacks of 6 loaves. We're dependent upon each other. We're interrelated to each other. This bread was placed on a table that was only about 2.5 feet high, depending on how you translate the measurements. A 3 foot by 1.5 foot table, about 2 feet 3 inches high. Mike Clayton says, let's put all the cookies on the bottom shelf so everyone can have a chance to get some. The Word is not held up so high that you can't reach it, that you can't see it, that you can't taste it. The Word is in or within reach, if you're willing to go for it. Don't just sit at the table and say, someone take a piece of bread and shove it in my mouth. But let's each take a piece of the bread. Eat it as a covenant relationship with the Most High, and recognize that He desires that you and I eat until we're full and overflowing with the bread. Now, let's go to the menorah. And it's about 5 foot tall. It's made out of a single piece of solid gold. It is a miraculously conceived and constructed device. Somehow, Moshe was shown how to hammer out from a single ingot of gold that which was hollow on the inside. This was not hammered into various pieces and then the pieces assembled together and somehow fitted together. It's beyond my imagination how he was able to do this. This is not gold that was poured into a mold and then brought back out. It was hammered into place. Solid gold, about 5 foot high. This would have been enormously heavy. And modern attempts to reconstruct the menorah has found that the branches are too heavy to stop from breaking off due to their weight. So that which is going to be placed in the coming temple of Messiah, perhaps Messiah himself will construct it, and we will see the miraculous instrument in function once again. In the book of Yochanan or John, Yeshua says, I am the vine and you are the branches. The centermost branch to which all of the other branches are connected, the root, the stem, the shamash is the servant. Yeshua, the servant, has then 6 branches, 3 on each side, coming off, branching off of him. And as he describes himself and our relationship as he is the vine, we are the branches in Yochanan or John 15, he talks about you and I being pruned and cut, and then pruned and cut again in order that we might bear fruit. The menorah is constructed in such a way that it is almond fruit in its various stages of development. And then it ends in an open cup that is filled with oil, olive oil, a wick placed within it, and it's set on fire. This is a picture of the Ruach HaKodesh, filling us with oil, developing our fruit, and setting it on fire. In the light of this Ruach anointing and illumination, we eat the bread, and the bread determines the proper work of the Ruach. They work together. Let's work together. Let's walk together. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll see you again next week.